let's look at first things first. What will it be about? So we'll talk about strategy, we'll talk about tactics, we'll talk about ideas. It won't be about like dusty stuff like the history of e-commerce and what's the difference between e-commerce and e-business. If you want to learn about that, either read a book or take a course on it. Especially on universities, they like to start with those kind of things. Will it help your business? Probably not. So we try to have useful stuff in here. E-commerce is a very, very broad subject. So, we will only cover the basics of it, but hopefully it gives you a starting point where you can discover more to grow your business. So if you get just one idea out of this, that's already a good investment of your time. I try to read at least one book a week. Usually it's one every 2 weeks, and I always have the idea if I learn at least one thing out of it, it was worth my time, because if you grow your business with one idea, you can use it in the future and again and again and again. So who am I? Jeroen introduced me already, thank you for that. So a lot of experience with marketing, digital marketing, growing businesses, but really it's not about me, it's about you. So let's have a look about what you can do. So what we're going to discuss tonight, we'll start at the beginning, a little bit of goal setting, and how do you know that you're actually reaching your goal? You know that by measuring things. Then about positioning, what makes you different from the competition. Then we'll look at the website itself, mainly from a usability point of view. We'll also have a hands-on demonstration by Uzi about how to set up the store. We're going to touch the subject of logistics, inventory, and payment methods. Very briefly, this can be a subject that you can talk about for hours. And it's also very specific to each business. But we'll touch, at the overview, we'll touch that subject, and hopefully you makes you think, and maybe you can, how to make a change, improve it. Then we look at the website traffic. That's very important for a lot of people. A lot of people get stuck at traffic. So I have my website. How do I get people on it? We'll try to spend a little bit more time on website traffic and the possibilities that you have, but you have a million options for it, and we can't look at every option in depth. But hopefully, it's a starting point to discover the details for yourself. Then one slide on customer service, what's important and how can you use it for your online business. And last but not least, a few tips for growth. It's not really e-commerce specific, but you can definitely apply it to a store. And sometimes the project is really big, but with this in mind, you can tackle a big problem into small problems and solve them. So let's start at the beginning, goal setting. When you start a shop, or basically any project, you need to have a goal in mind. What do I want to achieve? It might sound basic, but a lot of people just start. They have an idea, that's good. But then, as soon as you start, you need to know, where do I want to go to? And if you can make it smart, that's even better. So make it specific, make it measure your goal, make it specific, measurable, attainable and realistic, and timely. So if your goal, for example, if you have a business and your goal is to make people happy, how do you know if you make people happy? How many people do you want to make happy? In which time frame? So let's look at an e-commerce store. What could be a good goal? How much revenue am I going to make next year? You want to make sure that it's time bound. How many sales do I want to make? The profit that I want to make. Those are the most important goals for many e-commerce stores. But you can also have sub-goals. For example, how many visitors do I want to have next year? Because the more visitors you get, the more likely you'll increase your sales as well. It can also be the conversion rate. So if you can grow your conversion rate, say for 1%, so 1 out of 100 visitors on your website buy something. If you can increase that to 2%, you just double all your sales. And the good thing about that is, you're in control of your website, so you can change basically anything on your website. So if you changing the website is in your control. So changing it from 1% to 2%, that's basically more in your control than getting extra traffic. That's much harder. Another sub-goal can be, it can basically be anything that supports the main goal, and for e-commerce that's usually revenue, amount of sales, and profit. So you have a goal in mind, for example, revenue, you have sub-goals like traffic, etc. Make sure you measure it. So how can you measure it? One of the great things that online brings is Google Analytics. I I'm not sure if, did anyone install Google Analytics on this website? Only one? Did you does anyone with a website install Google Analytics already? No? Alright, so Google Analytics, pretty much you install it. It's quite easy to install. I'll also have some links in the presentation that where you can find more information, where you can sign up, how to install it on Wix, and how you can set goals. By the way, you can download the presentation on the side of Unleash, so you don't have to write down everything. The important thing is, if you want to reach a goal, that you measure all your statistics, but because otherwise, how do you know that you actually reached the goal? I don't know, you have to measure it somehow. Well, with Wix, for example, if you have a Wix store, obviously you have the back end. But for traffic, Google Analytics is really good. You can also see how people behave on your website, how long they stay on your website, how many pages they view. A lot of information is in there. It can be a bit overwhelming, but just sign up, make sure you install the code on your website. I'll have a link in there that explains how to do it, and then just browse through it, see how you can get information out of it. It helps you grow your business. Important questions you want to ask yourself. First of all, where am I standing now? Where do I want to be next year? And when you're analyzing your results, where did we stand last year and what were my goals? Did I reach my goals or didn't I? Why not? Or why did I reach my goals? Try to, with the daily activities, sometimes you have the problem of being so caught up in doing your daily stuff that you don't take a step back to see how your business is doing. So it's really important to take a step back, think, okay, did we grow this month compared to last month? Did we grow this year compared to last year? And why did we do that? And what can we do to reach our goals? Really define small steps to get there. So here are the sources. How to, what's analytics? You can find it at the top link. You can also sign up for an account over here. And the second one explains how to install that little bit of code on your website so it starts tracking all the visitors. And the last one is, so let's say you want to measure sales, which is usual with e-commerce. It explains how to set up measuring sales the right way over there. Again, you can download the slide from the Unleash website, and all the links are in there, so you don't have to write it down. So we now have goals, we now measure it, but what's really important when people come to your website, or basically for any business, what makes you different? Why would they buy from you instead of a competitor? Especially when you sell products that are, or services that are quite similar to competitors. So this is called positioning, or unique selling points or propositions. What makes you different? For an e-commerce store, there can be a few different things. For example, you can have faster shipping because you have multiple warehouses. Probably not the case when you're starting out, but it could be a difference. You could have products in stock while the rest ships it from China. So if they do that, it's probably 6-week delivery. If you have them in stock, it will be a week to the East Coast, a day within Perth. Maybe you have more choices, more pullers, more. Maybe you have guarantees. If you don't like it within 30 days, send it back to us. We'll give you your money back. No questions asked. Maybe you have the lowest pricing. Last one is tricky because people want to undercut each other all the time. Before you know it, you have no margin left. So be careful with the last one. But define what makes you different from competitors. Really important, not just with e-commerce, but with any business. So we have Perth Plumber over here. It's a good example of a company that has USPs and actually shows them on the website. For example, 30-minute notice prior to arrival. Who likes to wait the entire afternoon waiting for a tradie to come in, sitting in front of the curtains, waiting before they come? It's a pain in the ass. You don't know if you can do some groceries because maybe they arrive 50 minutes. So this is probably tackling something that a lot of people struggle with. So pretty good USP. Have a few more, and that's how they tell we are different from the competitors, and here is why. But this helps people to contact them and buy from them. In this case, it's a service provider. That could be an e-commerce store as well. So that's really the start. So let's look at the site now. When I talk about the site, it's really about that we look at usability. So what makes the website user-friendly, and how does it help people to buy from you? So this is Jacob Nielsen who wrote this. He's a very famous usability expert. And this is what he wrote. If the homepage fails to clearly state what a company offers and what users can do on the site, lost on a website, you know, they don't know where to go, they don't know where to find the information, they leave. If the website information is hard to read, because it's very small font or one big chunk of text, or it doesn't answer the main questions, they simply leave. Do you notice a pattern here? Every time it's hard for the users, they leave. And online, that's really easy to leave. I mean, the back button is just one click away, they're gone. They go back to Google, find a different company, and they purchase over there. So, how can we make it easy? First concept, don't make me think from the user's point of view. Make it as easy as possible. I have an example here from a plumber company. As you can see, there are a lot of visuals over here. Buttons, pictures, contact us now. So the idea is pretty good, but there is so much going on. I don't know where to click. Can you click over here? Or is this the menu? Or can you click on both? I would say either you can click on both, or you can't click on any of those. That's not true. You can actually click on these buttons, but not on these. Or it was the other way around. I don't even know. And because I can't remember, that's even worse. You should just know it by looking at it. So, yeah, this is actually a terrible example. Make it easy for people. Again, I'm going to use them. Sorry to this company, but try to focus users' attention. There is so much going on here, I don't know where to look. When I come to this website, I'm looking at a picture over here. You know, this is trying to create an impression that, you know, happy, etc. And I see an accreditation over here, so it must be alright. It's located over here, contact us. So every part is good, every section is good, but it's so cluttered together that I simply don't know where to go. And that's really not good. You have to try to focus the user's attention instead of just chucking it on one page, maybe, you know, put it below each other so you naturally guide them into a story. Don't make users wait. A 1 second delay, according to the Aberdeen group, causes 11% decrease in page views. Conversions are down by 7%. Customer satisfaction by 16%. So that's a lot for just 1 second delay. And we've all been to websites that have been terribly slow, and we're just waiting. And we get annoyed. And every second that it takes longer, we get more annoyed, until it takes too long and we go away. So what can we actually do? Well, obviously with Wix, Wix provides the platform, Wix provides hosting. So that's not something we can do anything about. But what we can do is change the images. So if an image on your website is shown this small, don't upload it this big. Make it small first, then upload it. That really helps with loading times. And that's probably one of the key takeaways. You can actually test your loading speed on these 3 websites. They're pretty famous for that. One is actually of Google themselves. You can get a grade for your website, 100% or an A. Don't try to go for 100%. That's actually very, very hard. There's actually someone tried to get it 100% for Google and he couldn't do it. He tried it with a simple website, he simply couldn't do it. So try to do your best, but don't focus too much on it. As long as it's convenient to use and you don't have to wait too long. Another example. These texts are the same. Left and right, same copy. Which one is easier to read? People don't read, they scan first. So use your headings. What is it about? Where does it come from? Why do we use it? And where can I get some? This is very clear. As soon as you come to this page, you read those 4 headings, and then you decide, okay, what do I want to read? Okay, where does it come from? Maybe you want to know that. That's where you start. Try to find this information in there. It's harder, so use it wisely. So a few other core concepts I'll group together. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. You might have heard it in a lot of different you could have heard it anywhere, but it's really important. If you think, okay, I got something very sophisticated for my website, it looks very neat and cool and techy. If it makes it too complex for the user, you think it's fun and nice, but the user doesn't because he doesn't know what to do with it. So be really careful with that. Keep it simple. Credibility, another one. You're an e-commerce store, so it's all about credibility and trust. How can you increase trust? If you have a certification, show it. If you have testimonials from people who are happy with you, show it. It can be either text, it can be video, it can be image. Try to combine it. Do you offer safe payment methods, for example, credit card, PayPal, etc.? name it over there. You want to create trust so people are happy to, they're not afraid to give you money and that you run away with it. At least as important, USPs. So we talked about it already. Why should they buy from you? Just mention it on every page. Why should they buy from you? At the checkout, we sometimes have like a form that's terribly long. For example, you order at the shop, they only ship to Australia, and you have to fill out your shipping address, and you still have to say in which country you want the product to ship to. Why? They only ship to Australia. Don't make it harder. Do you ask fax numbers from consumers? Why would you do it? No one uses a fax, at least consumers. So really think of your users. What do you really want to know? And is it useful to know? Otherwise, leave it out. For a product page, and it sounds silly, but a really important aspect is obviously the buy button. Sometimes it's like an orange color, and there are 10 other different orange objects in there. It doesn't stand out. So make sure that it's distinct, that it's clear. That's the buy button. All the other stuff, something else. And if you have good offers, show it on the homepage. Not everyone is looking at the homepage, but quite a few do. So make sure that if you have a very good either bargain, you want to get rid of some inventory, have it over there. So this is what someone can think if they're on a page. So there's a lot of information on there. Where do we start? Hey, that heading, why did they call it that way? Can I click on that? Is that a link or a button? We actually saw that example on the plumber side. Is that navigation or is it just a list of items? And why did they put it there? They can ask a lot of questions, and just in one example, there are 6 questions they can ask themselves because it's not clear. This person is confused, and the chance that they will leave and not buy from you is big, so make it easy. So that's the site. If we look at logistics, inventory, and payment methods, like I said, it's really short. It's only one slide, because for a lot of companies, it's a tailored solution. What counts for your company doesn't work for you. So 3 options are, for example, drop shipping. I'm not sure if everyone is aware of what drop shipping is. So drop shipping basically is you have no inventory. As soon as someone orders at your place, the factory or the wholesaler directly ships it to the customer. Very convenient for you. I mean, you don't need to have stock. Well, that's the biggest advantage. Downside is a lot of wholesalers and manufacturers don't do it, because obviously that's a lot of overhead for them. They have to hold stock, etc. But some do, so you can always discuss it. If the drop shipper is overseas, for example, in China there are a lot of drop shippers. Take into account that shipping times are 6 weeks or even longer. A lot of people are not willing to wait for that, and you can get a lot of complaints from that if you don't mention it. It is a ship from overseas, so keep it into account. Just-in-time production. If you have any tailor-made stuff, for example, you engrave stuff, you make stuff based on their wishes, you only make it when they order. So that's something different as well. You don't have inventory, maybe just the basic stuff, but then you make it based on their demands. And the last but not least, the most used one is just having inventory. As soon as they order, you ship it out. If your levels are low, you order it from the wholesaler again or manufacturer. If you get bigger and your stock grows, etc., you don't want to look at your stock levels each time and see, okay, this one is dropping low, and you have to order again from the wholesaler. Or actually automatic links with wholesalers. As soon as your inventory drops low, it orders from the wholesaler. Before you know it, it's shipped to you. That's usually only useful if you really start to grow, and you want to make sure that your stock levels are never too low. An easy one for postage. So a lot of people just say either flat rate or based on the weight, etc. But there's still quite a few companies that don't offer a premium service. So you want to have it faster, and that is a possibility, please offer it. Some people are willing to pay more if they get it faster. And in some situations, it's justified for them. You might think $15 extra for postage. I wouldn't do that. But if it's justified for them, that's the most important thing. Maybe it's someone's birthday, and they really want to have it in time. They don't mind the $15 extra or whatever it is. So offer that service. It's usually quite easy. So please look at that as well. If you want an Australia Post integration with the Wix store, it can be a little bit tricky, but if you have EasyWit, they have actually an integration with Australia Post, which makes it easier for you to give a quote for a product, and they can order it directly online, and the shipping costs are automatically calculated, making it much easier for you. So you don't have to charge a flat fee. It's actually based on weight, size, etc. So that's really about logistics and inventory. Then one more thing about payment methods, actually two. If you want to have credit card payments, Stripe is really easy to use. You can use PayPal for credit card payments as well, but it's just not as user-friendly. First of all, a lot of people who go to PayPal to pay with a credit card don't even know there is an option actually there where you don't need to sign up. You can just enter your credit card details. So use Stripe, much more user-friendly. If you also offer PayPal, which is very good, a lot of people have PayPal, a PayPal account, make sure you set this auto return option, turn it on. What does it mean? Basically what it does, as soon as they pay at PayPal's on their website, usually it says thank you for payment and that's it. If you enable this, it basically says you're now returning back to the merchant's website. And because they're returning to the merchant's website, you can now measure in your Google Analytics, so in your statistics, you can see that someone paid and came back. So you can now measure that they paid. If you don't enable this, they won't go back to your website. So you do know, okay, they put something in their cart. You do know, okay, they now click towards PayPal, but you don't know if they actually paid. If you enable this, they go back to the website after payment, and you register that, and you have the data in your tool. So, small tip, we actually implemented that for a client, and we doubled the conversions that we measured. So we didn't increase the actual conversions because people still paid or not, but the number of conversions that we measured doubled, so it gave us a lot more insights. It's quite easy to implement, and it makes a huge difference. Oops. There we go. So, website traffic, probably one of the core problems a lot of people have. So I have a web shop, but I wanted traffic, because without traffic, no sales. So we'll cover a few subjects. We'll start with search engines, either advertising or SEO. Then we'll look at social media, either by natural posting or by doing some remarketing. And we also look at email marketing. I took out joint ventures because of the time that we have. I think I'm already a bit late. So if we look at Google, it's basically divided into two parts. First of all, over here, that's where you can rank with SEO. If someone clicks on one of these results and you're standing there, users are free. Then there is an advertising part, 4 slots at the top, 4 slots at the bottom, which you can't see right now. And there is something called Google Shopping. These are paid. So every time someone clicks on it, you pay a certain amount. It can range from 3 cents to $40 for one visitor. You won't be paying $40 unless you're doing car insurances or other kind of insurances, but those are expensive. So what are the advantages of advertising in Google? The platform to advertise in Google is called Google AdWords. So people are literally searching for you. So if you're selling shoes, let's say you're selling leather handbags. People are literally searching for leather handbags. If you advertise on that keyword and they come to you, you know that's their interest. It's completely different from advertising on Facebook. They're just, going through the post, what friends posted, etc. And there you are with an ad about handbags. Maybe not interested in it. So it's a very different audience that way. So people are literally searching for your service, your product, etc. If you advertise in Google, you get instant results. As soon as you set up the campaign, which keywords you want to focus on, you define, okay, I want to spend $5 a day. You press on Start button, and within a few minutes, you're advertising. And as soon as someone searches for it, clicks on the ad, you will be getting traffic. So it's pretty much instant. It's very fast, and you can set, it's a bit of a technical term, CPA, which is cost per acquisition, or return on ad spend goal. That basically means, okay, I sell leather handbags, I sell them for $100. As long as I spend at most $5 on a sale, so $5 on advertising costs, it's profitable for me. So if that's your goal, with Google Analytics, it's really easy to measure if you're within that budget. But there are also some disadvantages. Some markets are simply oversaturated. There are a lot of companies selling leather handbags. There are a lot of companies selling car insurances. So the cost for one visitor goes up. Like I said, for car insurances, you sometimes pay $40 for just one visitor. Try to make that profitable. Really high. And it's reactive marketing. What does that mean? They are searching for you, and you try to be there at that moment. If they're not searching, you won't be found. So you're basically responding to their search query. So that's reactive. If they're active, you respond. That also means that if only 100 people search for a specific product or keyword, you can only be found 100 times and not 200. So that's the limit of it. So some tips. Define for yourself, for every product, for every category, how much do I want to spend on advertising before I make one sale? For example, if I spend $200 for the leather handbags, I want to make sure that if I only want to spend $5 per sale, then I need to have 40 sales for that $200. And you can measure that quite easily in Google. Also think of the user's intention. Really think about them, what they are thinking. For example, you can be advertising a Blu-ray player and all kinds of combinations. They might be searching for buy a Blu-ray player. Very interesting. That you want to attract those people if you're selling Blu-ray players. That's the right intention for an e-commerce store, obviously. But if they actually were looking for a Blu-ray player manual, they're not going to buy from you. That's an informational keyword. Plus, very likely, they already got a Blu-ray player. They're just looking for the manual because they lost it. So you don't want to spend money on the second one. You want to spend money on the first one. So always think of their intention. What can I mean with it? Last but not least, if you set it up yourself, always exclude the display network. I won't go into details what it is, but it's not Google itself. Partner websites. It's completely different, and it will drain your budget, and you won't make any sales. It does work for a few companies, not a lot.
So you understand? Is it better to have your name
Sorry?
or a product? Say from some photos,
Yep.
Is it better to use my name as a tag word or photos or?
What would people search for when they try to find your product?
Yeah. Okay.
They probably don't know your name,
Not,
so they're not searching for it. So even if you advertise on it,
Yep.
no one searches for it, so you won't be found.
Yep.
So in your case, you're selling photos of clouds.
Yep. Yep.
So let's say someone wants to buy cloud photos.
Yep.
They would type in buy high quality cloud photos.
Okay.
That could be a keyword. Just making it up right now. I'm not sure if
Yep.
enough people type it in to be interesting for you,
Yeah, yeah.
but that's how you have to think.
Yep.
So SEO, like I said, it will be very brief. We just discussed AdWords. We can talk hours about it, but we are a bit time bound. So SEO, again, it's the same search engine, so the same advantage as with AdWords. People are literally searching for your product. They're literally searching for, I want to buy a leather handbag. The difference is, these visitors are free. As we know, nothing is free, and that's the second thing. So SEO is really competitive. Everyone wants that free traffic, but in order to get there, you have to spend quite a bit of time. It's a medium to long-term strategy. With Google AdWords, the advertising, you're there pretty much instantly as soon as you press the start button on your campaign. With SEO, it can take anywhere from, say, 2 months up to a few years before you get results. So very, very different. But as soon as you're there and you did it in the right way, and you're not trying to cheat the system, it's quite stable as well. So quite stable flow of free visitors. That's basically what everyone wants. And that's why it's so competitive. Again, it's reactive marketing. They're searching. You have to stand there. If only 100 people search, you can't make it 200. So that's the limit. So a few practical tips for it, especially the first one. For e-commerce, the category pages are often the most important pages. So what's that, the category page? Let's say I have an online pet store. A lot of people are searching for dog collars. A lot of people are searching for litter boxes. For your e-commerce store, those pages are category pages. You have a litter box page, and you show all your different, it's category, and you show all your different litter boxes on there. You have a dog collar page, and you have all your dog collars on that page. So those category pages are very important. A lot of people search for it, and you can get a lot of traffic from it. The second most important pages, and the third is the product pages and the home page. So after people know, okay, I want to buy a litter box, maybe they know a specific kind of litter box, and they start searching for a specific brand plus type. That's really what you try to focus on with the product page. With the home page, you try to attract those people who are searching for online pet store and those kind of queries. So again, category pages are really important. So what can you do with it? How can you optimize it? Try to figure out, okay, and it's a lot of common sense. You can use a lot of tools to figure out how many actual search volume is there, etc., etc. But basically, it always comes down to common sense. Think like your clients. So don't think like yourself, think like your clients. What would you type in if you want a dog collar? Use those keywords in the title, use those keywords in the content, make it natural. Don't say in the title, dog collar, dog collar, dog collar, dog collar, or buy dog collar, collars, whatever. No, make it natural. Same with the content. Don't try to chuck in 200 times dog collars in a text of 400 words. That looks very unnatural. You might attract some people because you might start ranking, but as soon as they visit the website and they see like dog collar everywhere, they think this is just spam. And they click back and it's gone. So you get a lot of traffic, they don't do anything because they get annoyed. So make it natural. So important for SEO is finding out which keywords you want to target, optimizing the content on your website, making sure that the technique of your website is good, but it's the Wix platform, so that's already taken care of. And the last part, but not least, is getting good links. This, by far, is the most time-consuming and difficult part. Why is this difficult? Optimizing the content, it's your website. You can change whatever you like. Keywords you want to focus on, you know, you have to do your research, but you can choose what you want to focus on. But links, you get links from other websites. They have to do something on their website, and you don't really have control over it, and that makes it very hard. So what's a good link? Basically, any link that would send genuine traffic to your website that might buy something. For example, the pet store, let's say you get a link from a dog training website. You know, you have quite a few local dog training groups. If they have a link on their page, you know, if you want to buy a collar, go to this store, maybe use this coupon and you get 20% discount. That's a good link. That's a natural link, it's a genuine link, it's a good link. If the link can be acquired by using an automatic tool, if it looks like spam, if it's irrelevant, then it's a bad link in general. So really important, but quite hard. All right, social media. Social media is quite different from search engines. So search engines, people literally looking for you. With social media, they don't, but you do have some information that you don't have with search engines. For example, you have the demographics of people, you know their interests, and you can target them that way. It's usually a bit easier with likable products. For example, if you sell DJ gear, because people are very enthusiastic about their hobby. If it's a party supplies, people are enthusiastic about the parties, pets, you name it. If you have a financial product, you're trying to sell insurances, well, Facebook is a challenge. So it's usually easier that way. A few tips. Likes are worth nothing if they're fake. Yeah, I got 1,000 likes. So what? They're all from fake leads generated in China. They're not worth a damn. Same with if people are not interested. So sometimes you can win something. It's not bad, but if those people are not genuinely interested in your product, they're never going to engage with you. So you want to make sure that the readers who are following your Facebook are genuine or interested. And important is that you not just push information to them. Facebook and all the social media are all about interaction. So interact. Don't be afraid to ask a question. Don't be afraid to have dialogue with them. But do make sure that if you ask a question, if you seek for that dialogue, that you're there to answer their questions, to talk to them. Because if they start chatting with each other and you're not there, it can, backfire as well. then there is remarketing. Anyone heard of remarketing? Alright, so remarketing is awesome. This is a nifty trick, and it started a few years ago. Basically what you can do is anyone who visited your website, you can show ads to those people who have only been to your website. For example, you got 1,000 visitors to your website last month, you can only target those people. What's the good thing about it? You know they're interested. They have been on your website before. You can even target only people who have viewed at least 3 pages. So that way you can only target people with a high interest. And the important thing is, the reason that this is so sophisticated is a lot of people don't buy immediately, especially if you're not selling something that's only $10, but actually more expensive, $100, $200 and upwards. People need some time to think, people need some convincing, they need to see your name a few times. With remarketing, you keep reminding them, okay, this is what we offer. You keep on top of their mind, and this really works well getting sales. Usually, this brings in a very good return on investment if you use and apply remarketing. And the good thing about e-commerce is that there is actually something called dynamic remarketing. That means that if they have been viewing your store and they have been looking at a few products in your store, the last few products that they viewed, those are actually dynamically inserted into your ad and shown to them. So they immediately think, oh, hey, wait, those are the products that I actually have looked at. So it's very relevant to them. It makes them look at the ad even more, click to them, etc. So it works very well for e-commerce. Again, very important, don't forget your USPs. Why should they order from you compared to competitors? Don't forget it.
Sorry, so how do you use that? How do you utilize Wix to do that?
I have to look into it. It depends on if you use Facebook for it or Google, because you can do remarketing with Google as well. So I'll add a link on the page where you can download the slides. I'll add a link as well where you can find a little bit more about dynamic remarketing.
Okay, and so you can do that on Facebook as well?
I'm not sure if you can do dynamic remarketing on Facebook. You can do dynamic remarketing with Google at least, and then your ad shows up on different sites like news sites. Anywhere where user visits, that's within the Google network. The dynamic remarketing ads will show.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Last thing that we look at traffic-wise is building a list. So I've done a lot of I have had a lot of e-commerce clients during the last decade, even with multi-billion dollar companies. Newsletters are really the way to go to generate a lot of revenue month after month after month. Even if you send a newsletter every month, people keep buying every month. It's insane. So start building that list. If someone ordered from you, put them on the list. If they attend a presentation, well, put them on the list. If you have a newsletter subscription on your website, put them on the list. If you have a joint venture with someone else, try to get those people, like his clients, on your list. The bigger your list gets, the more money you can make with it. A lot of people, online marketers from all over the world, say the money is in the list. If you take away everything I have except for my list, I will still make money. Why? Because you know these clients are interested in products, these clients want to buy. As long as I build a website again, and I have my list, I start emailing them, and I can start selling again. Really important. But what do I send? What can I offer them? Well, just 2 ideas. For example, you have a shoe store, and they bought some shoes last year for summer. New collection is here, so show it to them. You have new products again. If it's winter, show them the winter products. But it's not just about new collection. It can be about additional products as well. For example, if they bought a GoPro, a lot of people, want additional gadgets for their products. For example, these mounts. Maybe they ride a motorcycle. Maybe they do skiing, etc. So sell them the additional products. With email marketing, as with all advertising, testing is really important. 4 things you can test. You can test more, but 4 key things you can test. Timing. Am I sending my email just before Australia Day, or at Australia Day, or the day after? Am I doing it on a Tuesday? I believe the best time to send an email is on Tuesday afternoon. That's what I researched. Important is frequency as well. Do I send it every week? People might get tired of me because once a week is often. Maybe once a month, maybe once every quarter. But if you do it every quarter, you might make less money than when you do it every month. So start testing what works, what doesn't work. The title is really important. The only goal of the title is for people to open that email. Don't make it a false promise. Don't say you give away free stuff and then only show things that they have to buy. But make it as attractive as possible. With a lot of email programs, like MailChimp for example, you can see the percentage of people that open your email. So test with different headlines. Do you ask a question in the headline? Maybe that works better. Do I make a bold statement? Maybe that works better. And last but not least, the content of the actual email. Well, you can figure that one out. 2 more slides. One is about customer service. Really, it's all about taking care of your clients. Don't be afraid to ask them how they liked it. Maybe you're afraid, that they say, well, I didn't like it, but you can learn from it. So even if they complain, you rather have them complain to you, and you can try to help them, than that they start complaining, on social media, and you didn't ask for it. Actually, one of our best clients in the last decade was someone who was unhappy in the beginning, but we dared to ask him. He really, he was a bit surprised that we asked about it in the way we did. And we solved this problem, and since then it was very loyal for many, many years, and he grew quite significantly, and we grew together with him. So just dare to ask him. What can you do? Well, you can try to get reviews. First ask them, did we deliver what you expected from us? As soon as they say yes, we're happy, thank you very much. Try to get reviews on Facebook, on Google, and even on your own website. There are 2 types of reviews, for products and for your store. Those are different things. They can be very happy about you and your service and your delivery, and still not happy about the product. The other way around as well. Maybe they're very happy about the product, but you delivered it 2 weeks late and whatnot. So 2 different reviews. The product reviews are important because it makes people who read those reviews think, okay, this is the product that I need to buy. The reviews about your store are important because it gives them trust that they should buy from you. Okay, I want to spend money on this site, but I don't know who you are. Do you actually deliver? With store reviews, you can make that happen. So they both have their own, function. Tips for growth. A lot of mistakes are made that they want to launch something that's perfect. We made that mistake with Hire Square as well. We had the perfect marketplace. We spent 2 months building it. Then we tested it, and within a month we noticed no one is using it. It was too complex, and we chucked it out. 2 months of work just in the bin. And then we had to adapt, and the new system was received much, much better. If we kept it a little bit more simple, test it out, see how people responded, we could have saved at least 3-4 weeks of programming. So don't wait till it's perfect. It's like a house, you can always improve. Second mistake, and it's something that happens a lot as well, you want to do everything. You have different hats as a business owner, especially when you're starting out. You need to do a lot. You have to do accounting, you have to do inventory, you have to change your website, you have to do marketing. A lot of things. Try to focus. Focus this week on 1, maybe 2 things, improve that. Next week, move on to the following thing. And keep yourself accountable. We can get so caught up in the daily activities that we don't work on our business, we work in our business. So sometimes take a step back. Did I reach my goals this month? Did I want to grow at least 5% this month? What did I do to improve it? Or did I only ship orders and that's it? So take a step back, make yourself accountable. The last one is about finding the bottleneck. So the first question you ask yourself, why is my e-commerce store not working as I expect? For example, you could ask yourself, does it get enough traffic? Well, I think it gets quite a bit of traffic. So you move on to the next one. If it doesn't, fix it. What can I do to improve the traffic? Can I advertise in Google, maybe different keywords? Can I do some Facebook advertising or check out some extra posts to get people's attention? Can I do email marketing? There are a lot of ways to get traffic. I've just shown you a few. So if you're quite content with your traffic, but you think something is off, and I'm not sure what, are enough products viewed? So are people actually browsing on your website, or are they coming to your website and then within a few seconds they're gone? If you notice that they are not viewing enough products or pages, you can try to figure out why is that the case. Maybe if you're selling leather bags and they come, or all kinds of products, and one category is leather bags, but you only have 2 leather bags in that category, so they don't have a lot of choice. As soon as they go to that category, they think, it's nothing for me, and they go. You could try to increase the choices that they have. Another problem could be, well, it can basically be anything. Maybe they can't find what they're looking for. It's so complex, they don't know what the buttons are. We've shown a few examples. It's just too chaotic. So that's something you can improve. If you're quite happy with the amount of products that they view, you go to the next item. Okay, so they look at almost anyone who comes to my website is actually looking at products. They put it in that shopping cart, or they're not putting it in the shopping cart. Why is that? Is it because the buy button isn't good enough? Is the price too expensive? Is the description not good enough? Maybe the picture of the product is too grainy, it's not sharp enough. All kind of things that you can try to improve in order to, make them put it in the shopping cart. Maybe it's not clear what the shipping costs are. A lot of people want to know, okay, what do I pay for shipping? If that's not clear, they're not going to do that. Mention your USPs, mention your certificates, testimonials, all those things that build trust. So if you're quite happy with that and you see, okay, quite a few people are actually putting in their cart, but they're not paying. Why aren't they paying? Maybe you surprise them with GST. They expected the GST to be included in the price already. Maybe you shipping cost is 20 bucks and they only expected like free shipping. It can be, or you're asking too much, or you're not offering payment by credit card or by PayPal. Again, this can be a bottleneck. So try to figure out where is the bottleneck. Is it with traffic? Is it with the amount of pages they view? Is it with the amount of products that they put in the shopping cart? Or is it with the checkout? Try to find out where the bottleneck is, focus on that, and then again move to the next part. Don't try to tackle everything at once, because you can always improve the traffic. You can always improve the amount of pages that they try to view. You can always improve any of these, but try to focus. That's basically it.